Welcome back, everyone. I'm Nick.
And I'm Fred. And welcome back to the Frightful Frontier,
A show where we search for the best horror and sci-fi humans have to offer.
Yeah, today we're doing a haul at Barnes & Noble, seeing what's good, what's out there, just kind of doing a little book haul. So we're going to stick with horror fantasy books, look around, see if there's anything good available today.
Cool. Let's hit it. So we just wrapped up at Barnes & Noble, found a few books there.
And now we're at Half Price Books. I'm going to check out what they have. Nick was looking at some Stephen King books over at Barnes & Noble, and I told him Half Price Books probably has a ton of Stephen King books, so let's hope I'm right.
Yeah, let's see what we can find.
All right.
So we just got back from Half Price Books and Barnes & Noble. I think we each got 5 books, a few from each store. There was one, I think, in each of our choices that we knew. We both got them from the same author, but outside of that, we were each kind of just shopping around. So kind of curious to see what you got. Where'd you start?
First one, I got Matt Brooks, Survive, Adapt, Kill, Devolution. This one's about Bigfoot,
okay.
And this was on our 25.
Yeah.
And you actually saw this before I saw it, and you had more books you liked there, so I was just like, I'll just get this one because I didn't see a lot there.
Okay, for sure.
So yeah, this was a no-brainer. I was going to pick this up either way, and it worked out because this one cost me a full $7.99.
What a buy!
Can't beat it.
Love that. Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna steal that one. When the time comes. Once you've read it, I'm taking it, no doubt.
Yeah. Well,
that was definitely towards the top of my list on our 25 to read in 25. That was, I don't know, Sasquatch, Bigfoot books. Just, I love it. It sounds so fun.
This is definitely gonna be one of those books too that we're gonna make like our book of the month, I bet.
Yeah.
Because a name like Matt Brooks and everything, he did World War Z, so that's gonna be a good one.
Cool. From Half Price Books, also, I got Stephen King, Needful Things. I've read like maybe 2 Stephen King books ever, but this was one I heard the synopsis of a while ago, and I was like, that sounds pretty cool. It's definitely a heavier, not content-wise, but actual page count-wise, it's over 700 pages, so we'll see how that goes. But I think some guy just moves into Castle Rock, Maine, which is like one of the Stephen King towns. It's like Derry, it's just another one of his towns. But some guy moves into town, opens like what does he call it? I don't know.
A bookstore?
Yeah, it's like just like a...
Oh,
kind of like a secondhand store.
Yeah, this is the one you were telling me about where he's got something for everybody, but then they pay in favors essentially.
Yeah, I think so. That was my understanding of it. But we'll see what comes of it. I'm excited. My dad actually, since we moved back, has only been reading Stephen King books, and he's read like 5 or 6. And just like the 2 months that we've been back, he's just been cruising through them. Yeah. And he said something about being a slow reader the other day. I was like, oh, me too. But like, if he can cruise through these, he said something about Stephen King books, which I know you hear it left, right, and center on the internet and all over the place, that Stephen King just writes in a way that like nobody can match. So I'm excited to like really dive into one of his books. Like I said, I've read a few of them, but like one was The Shining, and I don't even know if I ever finished that because I started it when I was like way younger. And I don't think I ever finished it. And then I actually listened to Holly on audiobook, which is one of his newer ones. But to get into some of his classic works is pretty exciting for me. I don't know how long I'll be able to hold off on reading this.
Yeah.
I may just dive in quick once I finish the book I'm currently reading. So we'll see. That's the first one on my list. Stephen King, Needful Things.
Yeah, fun fact, I've actually never read a Stephen King book.
Did you say something about how you were going to hold off to see how long?
I'm going to see how long it takes till I read a Stephen King book. I'm going to read everything else I can get my hands on, and then eventually I'll break down and read a Stephen King book, but no time soon. Just to be a little different, just to be like, oh, I've never read a Stephen King book, and I love horror.
Yeah.
You know, see what we do there.
Just be
Who's
that
the
guy.
other guy we saw at the...
Dean Koontz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see about him too.
Okay. All right. Number 2 on your list. What do you got?
Oh, I got a banger. All right. This one's called Apocalypse Cow. All right. I saw this one. This was actually in the sci-fi section. And it says, forget the cud, they want blood. And it is essentially... It began with a cow that just wouldn't die. It would become an epidemic that transformed Britain's livestock into sneezing, slivering, flesh-craving, 4-legged zombies. That's the first sentence of about this book. Right. So it's essentially
zombie cows.
Zombie cows, yeah.
That's insane.
It looks good. I mean, I love zombies, and cows is funny.
Of course, you won't read Stephen King, but you'll read that.
Yeah, I'll read this. We'll see what
Apocalypse
this does.
Cow, sign me up.
Yeah, and I'm pumped to get a book about zombie cows that's 347 pages. So I don't know what this guy did to fill these pages, but I am interested.
Right.
And this reminds me of, you ever see The Little Vampire? It was like a kid's movie back when we were like...
Yeah.
And there's a part where the vampires bites cows, and the cows start flying, and there's like vampire cows in the air. So it's a little nostalgic too, because I was like, yeah,
all right.
I like cows being a little evil.
All right, I hope that's fun. I don't know if I'll be able to dive into that one, but yeah, definitely let me know. Who knows? That could be like...
It could be really fun.
Could be an all-timer.
Yeah, and horror and comedy is an awesome mix that I like.
Yeah.
So
the ridiculousness of that may just make it...
Yeah, like you could either do really well with it or pretty bad. Yeah. I don't think this is going to be bad, though. I think this is going to be good.
Yeah. All right.
What do you got?
Sounds fun. Next one I got... Oh, I'm going to butcher his name. I've never known how to pronounce it. Michael Crichton? Crichton?
Well, I should mention this is by Michael Logan.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. No, you're good.
Forget it.
So this is the guy that wrote Jurassic Park.
Okay.
And like a whole bunch of other stuff. But this one's called The Andromeda Strain. The United States government is given a warning about the preeminent biophysicists in the country. Blah blah blah. Something lands in Arizona that came in from outer space, 12 miles from the landing site in the town of Piedmont. A shocking discovery is made. The streets are littered with the dead bodies of the town's inhabitants as if they dropped dead in their tracks. I feel like it's a name that I'd heard before, but never knew like anything about the book, like the actual title of the book. So I'm just excited to see what it's about. Feels kind of sci-fi, little bit of horror, and obviously an all-time author. So yeah, $4 at Half Price Books. Again, it was one of those ones. It was like the spine's all beat up on it, and I recognize the author, and it's $3 or $4. Like I can't pass that up. So
you can really tell a difference between like the books we chose. Yours are like classics and like good books and well recognized, and I did Apocalypse Cow.
Oh,
this one I saw this right when we walked into Barnes and Noble, and we're in Wisconsin, and Door County is a huge place that people go to, and they, vacation out there. It's a big couple spot. It's a very beautiful scenery and everything like this. And I've never heard of this. I've never seen it before. Yeah. And I instantly grabbed it. I was like, we need that. And she's got a couple other books too.
Yeah, so this was the one too that I ended up getting a book by her as well, called Death in the Dark Woods, which funny enough that you ended up getting the Devolution one because that's like a Bigfoot story. This one's a Bigfoot story too, but both of these take place in Wisconsin. These were the ones like Fred said, we saw them on the table right when we walked in, and it was like, oh, these are right up our alley. Local stories about, if you want to dive into what yours is about, but like they're both about like cryptids and just cool local stories. So
yeah, mine's Door County. I think yours is Appleton, right?
Mine says Bayfield County in the Chequamegon-Nicolet Forest.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was the other one though, because I think she's got 3 of these.
There was these 2, and then it was like a beast in the something woods. Yeah. But I mean, I said it before about Devolution. I just love a good Sasquatch or Bigfoot story. So
yeah,
I saw this one and like it's on the cover. I'll hold it up in a second, but like I don't know.
Well, this one I think is Loch Ness, like a sea monster.
So wasn't there maybe that's more in like Canada, Champy? Lake Champlain. Wherever that is, there was like a cryptid called Champy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's up in Canada. I don't know exactly where that is, but I wonder if that plays into it too, because like, I don't know. I think Champlain was one of or Champagne maybe. I don't know. Either way, it was one of the explorers who like discovered this area.
Yeah.
So
nice.
It could be like in Lake Michigan. I don't know. I could just be talking out of my ass.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good one too. I saw this one right away, and I was like, we're doing that.
Yeah.
So, and I would love, if this is good, to read the rest of her books too.
Yeah.
Because all our books are like monsters in Wisconsin, and that's literally what we like. So
yeah.
It's
where we're from. It's like an inspiration for this channel. It's just
So that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
So
if either of these work out, we'll get that beast in the whatever woods that we can't really remember the name of, but we'll get that one and give that a go too.
Yeah.
Cool. If you want to read your next one, since I kind of piggybacked off that, so whatever your next one is, go for it.
Let's do. All right. Oh wait. Annalise Ryan, so that's who read that or wrote that one.
Both of those, Death in the Dark Woods and the Death in Door County.
All right, we got The Last Night to Kill Nazis. So basically, all I'm going to read is Inglourious Bastards meets Dracula when a group of allies led by a vampire with one goal, killing all Nazis before they surrender. That's all I need.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it. I'll take it.
That sounds fun.
And the cover is sick.
I was just going to say, I really like the cover.
You're not just supposed to judge a book by its cover, but that's
I don't know. That's pretty much what I did with all these.
Yeah. Like, there's snow and there's blood in the snow. Something's blowing up. Nazis are running, and then you got like a vampire up here.
Yeah.
This is going to be sweet. So this is by David Agnoff. Is that how you say that?
Argonoff?
Argonoff?
Agranoff?
I feel like Argonoff.
A-G, but it's A-G-R. Agranoff.
Agronoff.
Now, we promise we can read.
Yeah, right. Names are hard.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. So, that's that one.
Next on my list is another big one. It's called Secret Machines, or Secret Machines, I think is the name of the series. This is book 1, Chasing Shadows. So this is written by Tom DeLonge and A.J. Hartley. Tom DeLonge is from Blink-182.
Or 44 Plus. Was he in 44 Plus or was he in the other one?
No, I think...
Angels and Airways?
Yeah, he was in Angels and Airwaves.
Okay, yeah.
And then I think... Was it 44 Plus or Plus 44? Was Mark Hoppus and Travis Barker.
I don't know which one it was.
Because then also Boxcar Racer was Tom DeLonge.
Oh, yeah. Boxcar Racer.
Travis
That's the other one.
Barker. Yeah. Either way, not on a tangent. But this one was like, it's like a full UFO story. If you don't know, Tom DeLonge's like huge into the declassification of like UFO government documents. And he has a whole organization that's like funding research around that and just kind of moving that conversation forward. Which is pretty cool to just go from like a dude making dick jokes in a song,
yeah, right,
to like actually being a pretty intelligent dude getting stuff done like with the government is a cool character arc that I fully support.
That's a big book too. I mean,
yeah, this one is
small by any means.
650 pages, 660, something like that. But I don't know, it just seems super cool. I've had this on just kind of like a non-existent list of like keep an eye out for it. And when I saw it on the shelf, I was like, I haven't ordered it online for the $20 or whatever they're asking for a while. But when I saw it for $8, I was like, yep, I think I'm gonna grab it. Still in really great shape. Again, half price books coming in clutch.
Yeah. So and that says book 1. Are there more of them or do you know?
I don't know how many there are, but I know there's at least 2. And I think, I don't know if it's like a continuing series or what. But yeah, pretty cool. I was excited to just see this on the shelf and I grabbed it instantly because I was just excited to see it. Like in the wild, I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, I got to have that. So that is my 4th one. What is the last one you picked up today?
The Woodkin. This cover... First, feel the book. Like, it feels... It's like laminated or something.
Yeah. It's like a very glossy finish.
Really cool. Huh. And I read part of it, and it seemed pretty cool. Like, I sat down and read some of it.
Oh, is that what I saw you over in the corner reading?
Yeah.
Over by the window? Yeah.
And this is just one of those books that... It doesn't tell you very much. After secrets of betrayal shatter his marriage, Josh Mallory seeks solace on the Pacific Crest Trail in mountains of Washington. On the trail, he's just another hiker. On the trail, he can outrun the memories. But this backpacking trip swiftly turns grisly. I swear I can read. When he comes across the body of another hiker. Okay. So, and I think it's got something to do with ghost and, you know.
Something about like the name, the Woodkin, and like the cover, it kind of feels Blair Witchy. Yeah. Like, I don't know, like a folk horror kind of something up that or down that road.
And I honestly don't even want to know about this book until I start reading it. Like, just the cover of it just looks like I would pick this. Like, if this was a movie on Netflix, I would pick this so fast.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm like, I'm just going to go into it pretty not knowing anything. Yeah. And see what happens.
Yeah, that's a good synopsis to just like give you enough of the context but not give anything away.
Yeah. Well, as you can tell too, I never read like the full back of them.
Okay.
Because it's like, especially with horror and like mystery and stuff like that, I don't even want to read the whole back of them. I kind of want to get that while I'm reading the book. I think that takes away like some of the fun of it. So I'd rather, I'll probably get 60 pages into a book, and by then I'll know if I want to finish it or not. Okay. So we'll see. This is a very big toss-up. I feel like taking a risk could pay off.
Cool. And that was a Barnes & Noble find, right?
Yeah, Barnes & Noble, full price.
Yeah.
Painful.
Yeah. Man, we went to Barnes & Noble first and then Half Price Books, and we were like, we should have just come to Half Price Books.
Yeah, aren't you glad you didn't buy any Stephen King at
Yeah,
Barnes & Noble?
I almost paid $22 for Needful Things at Barnes & Noble, and I paid $3.50 for it at Half Price Books.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's the same book. I mean, it's a different edition of it, but it was still just, I don't know. I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, we'll definitely just be making trips to Half Price Books.
Right.
To do this. This may become more of a regular thing after we spent nothing there and got a pretty good book haul. All right, I got one more and then we can wrap up. Last one I bought, again, I bought this at Barnes & Noble, ended up finding the exact same edition of it in almost perfect condition at Half Price Books. I paid $10 for it. Not horrible, but I paid $10 for it at Barnes & Noble and found it for $5 at Half Price Books. So I was like, of course. But this is Disappearance at Devil's Rock by Paul Tremblay. I read a book by him last fall called A Head Full of Ghosts. It was like kind of an exorcism story, but it was also kind of a mental health story. It was like a family of 4 with 2 daughters, and they weren't sure if their oldest daughter was like possessed or was like having a mental break or like what was going on with her. And it was a really well told story. I really liked the book. And I've wanted to read a few of his books since then. This was one that I'd never seen the name of before today. And then I just decided to go with it. Basically, I think somebody goes missing, or few people go missing, and like there's a place called Devil's Rock that like kind of ties all of it together, and there's some supernatural type things happening, similar to what you were saying. I really just wanted to dive into the book to figure out what it was about.
Right.
It didn't seem like it was just a straight up like true crime type story. It seemed like there was some ooey wooey spooky stuff going on. So it really caught my eye. But yeah, I think that'll cover it. That'll be our
book haul.
Yeah, that's the book haul. If you have any insight into any of these or where we should start, please let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than that,
I think that's it.
yeah. Other than that, I think we'll wrap up and get to reading. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for traveling to the Frightful Frontier. You think it picked up Captain Breathing on me?
Probably.
I know.